Welcome back to Posen. Highlands, let's play some more Europa Universalis IV. We're playing as Sweden. No, Finland. Gosh darn it, not Sweden at all. I mean, you'd be forgiven for thinking that we might be Sweden, what with Stockholm in our hands and all that. But no. We are Finland. We're going for the Crossing the Finnish Line achievement. We have to take a continuous line of land down to the Cape. We just pieced out a war against the Norwegians, in which we took a cheeky little subject in the Empire, just in case. And we took Gotland, which has a Wispy City on it, which I don't think we care about at all. But I mean, I do care about that natural harbor in our trade node. Got 51% trade now, not too shabby. Money in there is okay. It's not terrible. It's not Lübeck, but it's not terrible either. So I'm kind of into that. We should have a quick look. Actually, while we're talking about trade, no, there's more money in Novgorod than there is in Krakow. So moving our trader there would not behoove us. With our peace deal with the Norwegians, we did not just take, Norway proper, but we also made Norway, extended Norway our subject, which is fully occupied by the Scots, which we're not at war with. We have a negative war score, not because we lost a lot in this war, but because we haven't been fighting in the war just yet. And, well, Norway is fully occupied. Now that we took over. Now, this put us into war, among other things, with the Swedes. And sure, we could have prepared a little more for this, but I think this is kind of fine. The question is, can we walk to Mecklenburg? We can, and I think we shall. And I think I'm gonna bring Iraqi just so we march faster as well. And I think we can afford to transport our longbows from Gotland to the mainland to help with the carpeting of the Swedes. Because if we have rebels pop up in Gotland, which we will at some point, the fort on there is going to help us sit it out. Let's core all the land here and otherwise keep going. So my thinking is we crunch the Swedish army because they're kind of stuck down there. We use our absolute naval superiority to, well, first deal with the Swedes and then try to annoy the Scots and stuff, and to eventually get an army over to Scotland. Now, I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that just yet. I mean, ideally the Scots are sitting on like Hjaltland or the Faroes, and we can just keep them stuck there with our navy. That would be huge. It's not super likely, but that would be great, clearly. What's more likely is that we're gonna have to deal with actual armies on mainland Great Britain. Not so Great Britain, I suppose. Which will be annoying, not just because we have to beat up the armies, which I mean, clearly I would prefer to avoid, but more importantly so, because that means we have to ship over a large stack, and we have to make it stick. We have 7 transports, I believe, right now, which is not an unreasonable number. Certainly had lower numbers before. But if we land troops 7,000 at a time, then we get, very much in danger of being defeated in detail. If, again, that is the right term to use. Which, might be. Seems like a term. And we don't want that, right? We want to win, not be defeated. So yeah, what we see, there's 3,000 people of the Isles and Orkney. But we can't even keep them there because Sutherland and Orkney are both Scottish controlled. So that is not how we handle the Scots. Now they might be... Aha! Excellent. 17,000 Scots in Akureyri and Finland. Finland? Iceland. The other Finland. Same difference, really. I don't know how we're gonna do on attrition if we're sitting on the eastern coast of Ireland. That's the Jan Mayen. I never realized. Huh. I don't know the significance of Jan Mayen in anything else other than a cheat spawnable nation in EU4. There's a console command you can... I say cheat. It's a console command. It's not actually positive for you to do it, so I don't know that classifying it as a cheat is a good thing. But it's a very, very powerful nation you can spawn with a console command. But I didn't realize it was a real thing. I mean, this could be an Easter egg name. I don't think that would be how they handle this. So I'm just going to assume that that's actually the place. And Jan Mayen must have been. Maybe that's some Scottish explorer. Scottish. Dutch is the word I want to say. Scottish. His name is Jan. Or Jan. It's kind of funny. It's my own name. But when I pronounce it for other people, and especially in English, I don't pronounce it as it is pronounced sometimes. It's just Jan. At least for me. Okay, down with the Swedes. All of them. All of them. Literally no Swede left alive. Well, no Swedish soldier. Of course, we would never hurt any civilian. Except maybe for those. I mean, they're not civilians. How's attrition here? It's open sea. See, that's kind of annoying. Let's see. How do we deal with that? Could do the following. We take the galleys and send them home. Because they're just dying here anyway. And then we do a half and half split. Maybe? Like half of you sit in Jan Mayen Sea, half of you sit in Romstad in the port. This way we have vision of the crossing if they ever try to do anything, and then we can swap out our troops. Troops. Our navy. If necessary. Get to Trondelag. And then soon we're gonna have full control there. And with 17,000 Norwegians on Iceland. There's not a lot of enemies left, is there? There's 6,000 island folks. And that's it. So if we take a 7-sized siege stack and get that ready to... Let's not go to Trondelag. It's a silly place. Get that ready to land in Scotland. We should be able to start dealing with things here. Ideally, we'd probably go and land in like the Faroes first, or Hjaltland, or both, so that we can have ports over here and still control the sea, repair and all that. And that also gives us staging ground to land larger armies. Yes, we can only transport 7 at a time, but if they're very close by, then the transport is going to be a lot easier than if they're not. Right, because we can quickly go back and forth, and the enemy would have to find a very specific point in time to fight us. Alright, get our leader on there, split the stack in half. and have both of them attached to the boats. It doesn't actually work, I don't think. I will see once we arrive on the coast of the Faroes. So what I want to do, ideally, is to land one stack on the Faroes and one on Hjaltland. Oh, Air's Craven. It's not something I support. How dare you be Craven? Repair, join. So can I? I can. Good. That's why I made the 2 stacks. Because you cannot split your stacks while you're on the boat. But this should save a lot of time. And assuming we're not sinking Jan Mayen Sea anytime soon, and we're not, then we should have full control of Iceland from here. Might as well already bring these people in. By people I mean boats. Boats are not people. What? One siege of Skarabog. Oh, that's your new capital. That makes sense. Alright, everybody get here. We're probably not going to be able to piece out the Swede just yet. Although we don't want tons, so maybe. We're going to have a look at that in a moment. Okay, there's the Faroes. Excellent. Let's have our combat navy land in there. Let's have you guys... Can I walk back on a boat? It's not necessary, right? We can go in here. Attach. Get back out. That's the wrong navy. Get back out. Get into Hjaltland. Still faster, I think, this way. We're taking a long time to embark and disembark. Otherwise, so it's probably fine to do this. Suppress the Livonians as they deserve. And then have a quick look at a peace deal with a Swede. So, we would want to take away that. Oh, we have no control of that. So, it's another reason to get that Swedish peace going. We may take more. We'll see. But what I'm really looking at is end the treaty to Poland, end the treaty. Unless, let's check out. It's unlikely that we can do what I want to do here, what I'm thinking of doing here. But let's have a quick look at this one. No. So sure, we could take some Swedish land. But if we did, then Sweden would be left alive, still allied to people we don't really want to fight. So instead, I want you to annul the Polish and the English treaty. Don't think we need to annul the Scottish treaty. We can probably just do that from the Scottish side. And we want to keep the timer kind of low here. 1504. It's kind of nice. 1504 is, even if the Polish and the English would want to renew their alliances, I don't think they would, but if they would want to, they wouldn't be able to, because this is a 10-year moratorium on alliances and we have less than 10 years, so there's a window there for us to attack. We leave the Scots, and if we need to, we clear them on the other side. I think that's a decent peace deal, actually. Feels kind of odd, right? To not take any of this. But we're gonna come back. With all our claims and stuff, and do a real war for it. That seems... It just seems very good. Cheeky little pillage? No. No. And we're not gonna go for the war reps either, because of the short truce. I think we really want that short truce. Makes sense to me. Yes? Our entire lines merely for themselves. It's gonna hurt our war score in the Scottish War. Which... does that matter? I don't think it matters. No, it shouldn't matter. Should be fine. Yeah, this should stop the Russian intervention. Yeah. How much would taking Sweden here, Rogjavemi, do to the peace deal? Just for sanity. 1st of April, 1505. It would still be within the 10-year limit. This add Volgas to the potential coalition, which is not super relevant, but it is something. Yeah, I don't think this matters. I think we take this next time. It's fine. It is fine. Merely for themselves. Gimme. Correct. While we're sitting around, suppress it, I guess. Don't know how long I want to be sitting around. We'll say. Are these 7 people going to be enough to take all of Scotland? I mean, kinda yes. Assuming we never need to take back Iceland, and I don't know why we would have to. 7 troops would be fine, but maybe a bit slow. Also, we're not bringing cannons, so really, at least these 4 probably want to hop on a boat and get over next time. We do have the insane siege general, so it's not like it's a ginormous deal, but still, it seems reasonable to go for a little bigger of a stack there. Let's have you get out here. As much as I want you out making me money, this war does seem slightly more important right now. That idea group taunting me with the admin I don't have. Norwegian? Oh yeah, we're not yet talking to our friend, the Norwegian, who hates our guts a little bit. Not that much, actually. I mean, yes, Force Vassalized, Force Breaker Line, but hey, we're also in a war together. I need to check up on that. I just realized. I saw a few comments, one of which was on me not using the estate privilege religious diplomats. And then last time I checked, they didn't show up anymore. It wasn't just that comment, it was a couple of comments. So either, which is most likely the YouTube Studio app, using to read my comments mostly on my phone, does not, well, has some issues. Or the comments somehow got removed. If it was an individual comment, I would assume it just got removed for whatever reason, right? But since it's multiple comments, I feel like I've been missing. I think it is more the app that's not showing them. And if that's true, you probably have been waiting for an answer on your comments for a few days. And I hope I'll be able to fix that sometime soon. This time it's not just me being lazy with responding to comments. It is also technology being in the way, as it tends to be. Okay, let's ship another 7 stack over with a cannon, and then this should all be should be all she wrote. Tempted to walk over to the Outer Hebrides to clear out the Isle stack there, but I think first we're gonna medic all these Scots and Scottish sailors. Poor Scottish sailors. And once they're all perfectly medicked, then we're gonna go and deal with the subject. Now, I don't want to hurt the Isles. I have more than one soft spot for the place, if that's even possible. But we're in a war together, so I need to at least reduce them in size a little bit. As in, I want them to not randomly hurt me. Which this should suffice to do. Just get as many enemies away, out of the way, I suppose, as possible. This. I think we want to go higher, and yeah, let's army up. Look more scary. We have the money. Seems very good. Also, having a few people to actually deal with rebels is nice. We're not looking at any reasonable amount or relevant amounts, I suppose, of enemy warriors anymore, I don't think. So we should be able to leave our general to siege down the Outer Hebrides. How the heck did England steal the Inner Hebrides? That's a travesty. Makes me very, very sad. It might be the place. No, that's not true. I think I've been there twice. I feel like I've been there so many times, but I think it was only twice. Twice to Isla. Guess why? I think that's Isla. I think that's Isla here. And a bit of a weird shape. No, it can't be Isla. This Isla and then it's Jura, maybe? Huh. Yeah, this really can't be Isla. The shape is all wrong. Ugh. Geography. Who knows it? Point is, I've been there twice. I've been to the space side twice. And that's... Is that all my... I feel like I've been to Scotland more often than not, but maybe that's all. I need to go to Scotland again. I actually tried to go to Scotland this summer. And I didn't want to fly for, you know, reasons. Turns out these days flying just doesn't feel quite right to be just flying around anymore. I mean, it never was right, probably. But the urgency of not flying has become more imminent. At least in my mind. So I try to avoid flying when I can. And I thought, well, it's not that far to Scotland, right? Can take a train or something. And yes, I can take a train. But it'll cost me probably like 3 days to get to Scotland. And then 3 days to get back. If things work out. And since especially German trains have been doing terribly recently, I don't trust it. I didn't really want to spend what did I have, like 2 weeks of available vacation time, mostly on trains. And then I thought, well, I can just take a boat. There's like a boat from Amsterdam to Newcastle. Where's Newcastle? Somewhere up here, right? Here-ish, maybe? Northumberland. And I just take a train to Scotland. But I wanted about 500 euros for a one-way trip on the ferry. So almost 1,000 euros for both ways. Which is insane. It cost like 80 euros in November. And in August they wanted 500. Sure, I get why they're doing that. But it's still incredibly rude. And I don't accept it. So I said Germany instead, and it was okay. It wasn't Scotland. Anyway, story time's over. We are sieging here without using our cannon for some reason only the Lord knows. I mean, I guess our cannon was busy sieging down the Irish capital. The Irish? Sure. What do we want out of this war? Let's get back to talking about the game. I haven't really asked myself that question. I mean, the main thing we wanted out of this war, the reason why we joined this war, we already have. It was breaking up the Swedish alliance and stopping the Muscovite intervention into attacking the Swedes. We'll get the nice little addition. Okay, we have to cross the further forth by boat. Unless Ulster, who likes us, lets us through, so we can probably just walk over. We can use this war to break the Scottish-Swedish alliance, so we have the Swedes completely isolated. Seems okay. But do we want anything else? I don't think the Norwegians have any... I mean, they have claims, I suppose. We could feed Sutherland and Aberdeen to our subject. Could free the Isles, which tempts me greatly. Now, these are probably in the North Sea node, which is not useful to us yet. It might become useful to us at some point if we do actually control Lübeck and get our trade there. Then having power in the North Sea is good, especially when colonization starts kicking in. It's kind of funny to have the Norwegians as a subject because they might colonize for us. I think they do that, right? They get a colonist, I think, with their first idea now. Isn't that so? Clearly not. Oh no, they get an explorer first, and then they get a colonizer later. That makes more sense too. Yes, yes. But still, I think they would be able to colonize for me, quote unquote. Not that that particularly matters to our game plan. Question is, do we want to do anything to Tyrconnell? I don't know that another subject over here is necessary. Just can't sink these boats, can we? I mean, not that I care about those 3 transports all that much. But it's kind of funny. Let me through, please. It feels weird not to do anything to Tyrconnell here. But also, I don't know what we would be reasonably doing. I don't even know what the value is of sieging this fort down, necessarily. Let's have a brief look. Let's have a brief look. How could the Scottish peace deal look? Well, in 7 days. Let's have a brief look. What's this even? Oh, we're talking to Norway. That makes sense. So, the Scot. The Scot is our main enemy. We could just take Scottish land if we really, really wanted to. We could make the Scots our vassal as well. No, it's not the Scots. That's just the Isles. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. The Scots are a tiny bit off. 3%. Too much war score. But I'm not really looking for that anyway. I'm somewhat tempted to make them release the Isles. But they're not gonna live. As much as I want this, they're not gonna survive. Against the Brits, next door. I would have to ally them and protect them. Then I might as well vassalize them too, you know. Got value. Do they have like a tons of cores on the Scots? No, just the Inner Hebrides. Nobody has any cores around here. Such a shame. What if I gave, what is it, Sutherland and Aberdeen and maybe Inverness for completionist's sake to my subject? No, I need to go here. I need to transfer that to Norway, which looks the same as we do. Freaking saviness in Scandinavia. We do that. Costs us Oh, the only dip we pay is for Inverness, yeah, because we do have, well, our subject has claims in Aberdeen and Sutherland. Some people do care, we have to be wary of that. Starting to be too annoying the Germans a bit much. Not sure why Brunswick cares about what happens in Scotland. But they do. The value is not huge. So we shouldn't be limiting ourselves with a huge aggressive expansion move while at the same time not gaining much. But I like giving Norway enough of a base to actually maybe be useful. Yeah, not hating it. So tempted to release the Outer Hebrides. But I don't need another subject. And again, releasing them as an independent nation, they're just gonna die. Then again, as a subject of Scotland, they're also just gonna die against Sweden, right? Against the English, who I'm sure won all of it. Yeah. So maybe for propriety's sake, we should just have them released. Doesn't give it AE, right? No, it just costs me a bit of dip. That's worth it. I mean, not in game terms. But in, my mind. This kind of deal seems okay to me. And we could then consider to milk some more prestige here with ending that rivalry. We probably should. Make you release Man. No. Geldum? Does it say what they would get? Oh. Funny, but no. No, I think this... a deal similar to this one here. With war reps, rivalry, and that. Seems pretty good. The question is, do we get any reasonable value out of sieging down the Irish? Kind of think we don't. We could probably also give the Irish land to our subject. Might be... no, it should work. If we separate piece them out. Giving a decent power base to Norway. It's another 9. It's another 14 development. Not great development, but development nonetheless. That's nice. Bit more of a base in the North Sea node for when we need it. I just don't know what that does to aggressive expansion in Europe. It's kind of nice if it's sort of free. It's a problem if all these Germans care. But I guess we do have the time to wait here. Now, all the AE things could have made me consider going for state propaganda after all. And we still could consider that. I just don't like it. No, I want to go admin. Screw it. I mean innovative. Course help. Too many diplomatic relations already. Military access throughout the vassal alliance. Well, I guess the Alsterian military access has to go for now. Who needs it? We kinda do. Well, needs a strong word, but we don't want the attrition of not having that. I guess we pay a dip for a moment. Not a fan. I'm gonna have to try and remember. Oh god, spending all the admin. I'm gonna have to try and remember to try more centralizing of states. Bisa pointed out, or Bisa checked and told me in the comments after I asked that we did get our money back from centralizing state last time we tried it, but we don't know whether we got any positive effect from it. So we still have to do some experimentation on that. But not while my admin is this close. I don't want to randomly squirrel it away for 50 years when I really have other better uses for it. We're gonna have to put a cut in here, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy what you're seeing, please do hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and if you have anything to say, such as, why are you not taking man while you can, then please do so down there in that comment section. Thank you, folks, for watching, and see you, folks, next time.